few seconds. How are y'all doing on Instagram? Looks like I'm live on YouTube as well. How's everybody doing on Instagram? It's Saturday here in LA. I know people are watching from all over the world, which is really cool. Let me tell you what happened last weekend, why I'm doing this right now. Is that last weekend, I think it was last weekend, I'm pretty sure it was last weekend. Days mean nothing anymore, at this point. But last weekend, I told you about my water brand, YW Global, and all the cool things we're doing. And you all showed out. It's good to see y'all. You all showed out and you invested over the past week. You all invested more than $16,000, which is really, really cool. The average investment is something like $400. So that is a lot of people making moves, investing in yourselves, investing in this. Yeah, so someone didn't know I did water. Yes, I know I do a lot of stuff, but I want to remind you that I do a lot of stuff. Hey, YouTube, I want to remind you that I do a lot of stuff, but I also do stuff for several years before I try to branch out, and I would recommend the same. I'm going to pin the link to become an investor in my water brand on both. So now it's a pinned comment here in the chat on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Thanks for being here. And it's a pinned comment here on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. I'm going live on both because last weekend you all just really, really showed out and I thought it was really fun. And I had a great time talking to you. So this is what I thought I would do this weekend too. I go, of course it's purple. Yes, yes, exactly. I thought I'd go online and go live and take your questions. You can ask me anything about the water brand. We can talk about the investment, becoming an angel investor. You don't have to wait till you're rich to be an angel investor. Everybody gets to be part of this. This is what makes it so, so special. And so many of you have already done so. So if you've already invested, the minimum is $100. It's on WeFunder. I had to go through a lot of, hoops and accounting things just to be able to be on the site. So it's very much so vetted. And of course, I wouldn't steer you wrong. I will say only invest an amount that you are willing to lose outright or have illiquid, no pun, for several years, because that is just the nature of investing in venture. But this is a cool way to get your feet wet when it comes to angel investing. If you've already started angel investing, you want to add this to your portfolio, that would be really, really awesome. So I will take any questions. I know I may be missing something in the chat. Thank you so much for saying you're proud of me. I appreciate you. Yeah, if you have any questions or want to say anything in the chat, just let me know. And Salem, oh hey, what's going on? Brenda Lynn is here from Missouri, doing well. And Ella is here doing great. That's very cool here on Instagram. But I'm looking at both of the chats. So just let me know if you have any questions. If you go to the pinned comment on either Instagram or YouTube, you can become an investor. And what happened last weekend is I stayed on for I came on like 3 times throughout the weekend. And when I left, is when people went to the page and they signed up because they wanted to watch the video and they wanted to look through the materials. And I highly recommend that. But definitely open the page now so that you have it. If I invest, do I get to see you face to face? No, the direct answer to that is investing in my water brand does not guarantee you the ability to see me face to face. But I do I do a lot of speaking. I do a lot of touring. I'm out in the streets, so there'll be other opportunities. And in the future, I absolutely plan on having at least an event that incorporates the water brand and something in person, but I don't want to guarantee anything for you. So only invest if you want to, if it feels fun to you, if it feels like something that's going to be helpful to your portfolio, but not because you think you might meet me. Okay. I am Barbsy says on Instagram, what's the highest and when is the ROI if you want to invest a big amount? So I'm thinking you're asking what's the maximum? There is no maximum, but people have invested between, individuals have invested between 100, which is the minimum, and 10,000 has been the maximum. But I say it's 50,000, but it's really, it doesn't have a max. What I will say though is please only invest an amount you're willing to lose outright or have illiquid for years and years to come, because that's how this startup business works. And make sure it's not all of your investing money. So you want to diversify your portfolio. When it comes to the ROI timing, the return on investment timing, there is not a guaranteed date on that. This is a startup, very early stage. We call this pre-seed stage. And so there's no telling when or if there will be some sort of return on investment. Now, of course, I'm only doing this with the intention of it becoming something spectacular and having an exit. Last week, we learned that Poppy, the soda brand that is good for your gut, it's sold to PepsiCo for 1.95 billion. That's pending all kinds of regulations, but should go through. And so things can happen. Liquid Death, started out as a joke and turned into a multi-billion-dollar company. I think this company has the potential to be worth more than $100 million. That's my personal opinion and what I'm aiming for when it comes to the next 3 to 5 years, but it cannot make any guarantees. There's also more information on the page that is linked, but these are the type of questions that you should be asking. So very, very cool. Someone said they're confused because they just joined YouTube and they're trying to figure out, joined my chat in YouTube and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. If you just joined, I'm Arlan. Nice to see you. I am going live here on YouTube and I'm going live here on Instagram at the same time. I have a few things going on in life. I've invested in more than 200 companies. I now have 3 books out, 2 of them are on a major publisher. I have been on the cover of Fast Company and Black Enterprise, and I just really enjoy working with entrepreneurs. In addition to that, I am an entrepreneur myself, and so I have a couple of different companies. One of them is my YW Global water brand that is new, that has not come out yet, is not yet available. But as the name kind of lends itself to, it is going to be available more in more than one country. And I am raising a friends and family retail round, meaning a crowd round, meaning that what normally would be something that is closed off to accredited investors, people who are making more than 200,000 a year, I've made it possible to be available to anyone who's watching this, almost anyone. There are some regions, like in some parts of Canada and other places, that cannot invest on this website because of their own country's regulations. But for the most part, 95% of the people here can invest as little as $100 and be part of all the fun. You get to instantly become an angel investor in the company, and you get to get things like quarterly updates. We have a quarterly report that is followed by a call with me. So we do a group call where I explain all what's in the report. I keep you updated. Sometimes I have you vote on things, or I incorporate your opinions and things and decisions that I'm making. You get a really cool shirt that no one else gets. You get the type of shirt that's only for our investors. And we're doing this kind of indie style. Like, we're going to do this, not going out for major funding, at least now. And I wanted to start with this audience. Okay, let's see if I'm missing anything. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, will there be a Your First Million conference this year? No, there won't be. So we made an announcement about Your First Million that it's not happening this year, but it is happening in March of 2026. And it's happening, not just happening, but it's happening at one of the world's largest conferences in the world, called South by Southwest, or SXSW. You may have seen it called that. It happens in Austin every year for the past 30 plus years. More than 100,000 people come to this festival conference. It's music, tech, movies, etc. And we are actually partnering with South by Southwest to bring Your First Million live, my conference, that we had earlier, we had in 2024, bringing it to South by Southwest in 2026. So we'll see what happens after that year, but it's going to be so exciting. We've sent out messages, emails, things of that nature. Um, and we'll continue to make announcements. Now in June is when we'll start booking speakers and we'll start making more announcements about it. But yeah, that's where we launched YW Global. And I think that might be summer. If that's summer, you let me know because you know I don't know you by your screen name here. Okay. Let's see. I hope that answered that question. Thank you for asking. So if you go to the link and that is listed above in the chat on YouTube and in Instagram. There is I want to say it's 6 minutes, a 6-minute pitch video that tells you more about the water. And there is a long list of information about it. And there are also documents about the investment itself. So if you want to ask me anything specific, please do. Ooh, let's see. What encouraged you to start a water business? Oh, I love that question. Thank you. So, what really started was it just like Liquid Death. It kind of started as just a joke, but it turned into something serious after. I was on Twitter a few years ago, and somebody asked, one of my friends asked, "What do you do if somebody like an investor was interested in you, but then ghosted you, but then saw you were doing well and came back, da 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 da, right? What do you do?" And I was just being kind of tongue in cheek, and I said, "You splash them with your yacht water. You get fancy with them." And someone said, a guy named Evan said, "Yacht water is an interesting name for a drink, like for a beverage. I would buy that." So I looked at that, and for 2 years, I couldn't shake it. I took a screenshot of it. I kept looking at it like once a month. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so in 2024, I started working on a beverage. Now, it is called yacht water in every country that we are working with except for the United States. And we have a brand new brand name for the United States that's coming out later this year if you're an investor, you'll be the first to know about it. And the reason is because we had a trademark issue with the yacht water brand in the United States. So then when I learned my lesson from that, I got us trademark pending in 30 countries around the world. So that's how it came to be. And then once I got into it, I've said, I wanted to have something that a lot of people needed, a lot of people used. There is an element to it that does uh, we hope to be different. We hope to kind of do things in a different way. We're using recyclable cans. We're sourcing absolute best we can when it comes to the water itself, especially in these different countries, because that's going to be like an incredibly complex logistical thing, but it's important to us even if it takes longer. And we wanted to do it, kind of have some fun with it. So it has this elevated, beautiful look to it where I got the design made by someone who does lotions and perfumes. And the boxes are really cool. They have foil and different styles that we still are printing. And I wanted it to be this like elevated Grey Poupon, like, do you have any Grey Poupon? I wanted it to be like that with that tongue-in-cheek humor to it that still made it accessible. So there's a lot of fun things we have planned for the marketing side of it that will involve our investors. Okay. Ricklin says, "Congratulations, your educational informative content. I love your educational informative content. Thank you. You seem to have a ton going on. When do you make time for health and wellness? It's so hard when you're building a business." Thank you for asking. I get a little worried when that question comes up because sometimes trolls start by saying that question and they start talking about my weight. But it looks like you're legit. I don't think it's about making time for your health and wellness. I think your health and your wellness need to be the most important thing, and it needs to be 24/7, 365 days a year that you're thinking about your health and wellness. And that's what I do. So I have I thankfully, after being broke and homeless for most of my life, today I'm able to afford to have doctors and different specialists and different people on speed dial, I'm able to bring some of my family members in from other states to get health related things done here with me and with those specialists. And I just pay attention to myself. I don't have it figured out. Like there's a lot I've tried, a lot I've done to just try to stay healthy. And I think one of the best things I've ever done for my health and wellness and mental health was I stopped drinking. I'll be sober for 8 years in July. And I was an alcoholic, addicted to alcohol for 15 years. So that was the major thing that saved my life and changed my life. So it's not about making time, in my opinion. It's just about just constantly, it's always front of mind because I want to be around for a long time. I want to be around for a good amount of time that's healthy, that I get to enjoy the fruit of the labor. Thank you for asking. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Let me make sure I'm not missing it. Can you create a video about your book writing process? Oh, okay, sure. I think I can. Yeah, that's a cool, interesting subject because I've written 3 books. Um, I co-wrote with someone with Rachel Nelson the first 2, and I used AI as my co-writer in the third, and I have a couple more on the way out. So yeah, that's interesting. I'd be happy to. Does anybody else want me to do a video about my like writing a book and releasing a book? Brandon says, "You are so amazing. Thank you for sharing your knowledge." Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. That's a cool picture you have there too. How long did it take you to receive your free book if you already paid? Thank you for asking. So it's supposed to take up to 14 days. In the US, it'll take longer if you're outside because it's $5. It's free plus $5 shipping. And it costs like $8 to ship it really in the US, and it costs like 15 to 20 to ship it outside of the US. So it takes longer and we can't track it outside the US. Inside of the US, it should take 14 days, but some people are waiting up to like 21 days before they receive theirs. So if you haven't received yours yet, I promise you it's on its way. It's either left the warehouse or it's going to in the next couple of days. You'll get it soon. But everybody who ordered a book has been sent an email that has both the ebook and the audiobook versions of it, so you can access that instant content. Thank you for ordering. Okay. Cool. Laureline says, water. Okay, I need to read this. YW Water Brand, Crowd Round. Wow. I can afford $100. Cool. Do that. Yeah, do it. And don't just do it for me, please. Do it for yourself. Do it for education. You'll learn a ton during this process because you get quarterly reports. You get to just be part of this in a group setting. You'll also use it for entertainment. You'll have fun watching how it progresses, the good, the bad, the ugly. We'll see what happens. We've already had such a roller coaster in the past 9 months alone. Do it because you want to see it, exist. That's why I make my investments. I've invested in more than 200 companies since 2015, and that's about 500 founders, and I make those investments because I want to see the thing exist. So you may be wondering why I'm doing like a crowdfund. We certainly do not need to do a crowdfund, but I definitely wanted to do a crowdfund, and I wanted you to have the ability to be part of this. That's what was so important to me, is that you, with $100, with $500, with $1,000, can be part of this, pre-seed deal that most people are cut out of. That's why I started my venture fund 10 years ago. It's why I do the work that I do. Okay, Off the Beaten Path says, invested, proud and happy to be an angel and excited to learn. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Brendan wants to know if I'll invest in you. That I can't answer that question because I don't know what you do, don't know what your company's about or anything about it. So I can't answer that as a yes or no. But you can go to backstagecapital.com if you want to apply for investment. We invest in less than 1% of what we see. So know that, have multiple options, and above all else, work with your customer and your product, and make your customer your investor as well. Okay. Rock on YT 83 says, I want to make $1 million only using YouTube. Thank you for sharing the info. You can do that. I've seen so many people make $1 million using YouTube. I teach that all the time. I'm really bullish on YouTube right now. Okay. Ricklin wants to know when I sleep. I sleep at least 8 hours per day, every single day. Maybe once a quarter or twice a quarter, I'll have a day that I'm so excited about the next day that I wake up a little early, but I usually go to bed by 11 and wake up around 7 every day. So again, it goes back to, like, people say I do so much and I have so much going on. First of all, you never know what other people are going through or what resources they have. Like, you never know on the downside what they're going through, what's not perfect. Then you also don't know what kind of resources and team and help they have. So you can never truly think that someone else has it better than you, because you really, really don't know, right? So I feel good about how things are. I feel good about the rest that I get, and I think that, like, sleep when you die or hustle or whatever, all that hustle culture is not really exciting to me. All right. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. So Virtual Creative Collaboration says, the water has beautiful marketing and branding. Love the ideas of being eco-friendly. Absolutely. Couldn't do it any other way. Rock wants to know, do I have to credit AI for co-writing the book? No, no. When I did my audio book for this new book, my playbook, this is just a galley. This isn't the real book. But when I did my audio book for this, hello, I used a voice clone, like what did I use? 11 Labs voice clone. So at the beginning of that, I say, that it is a voice clone. When it comes to the book itself, there are so many people whose books you've read that other people wrote. They did not write a word of it. So it's not really necessary or like needed to do that. All of my books I've co-written. So it all comes from hours and hours and hours of my own voice being transcribed and turned into something, whether it's a person doing that or it's now, what we can do with AI. So yeah, people are saying, yes, do the video about launching a book. If you're just joining, you can go to the links that are pinned here on Instagram and here on YouTube, and you can become an angel investor in my water brand. And if you've already invested, let me know. I love hearing about that. Yeah, so Phoenix wants to know about the ingredients. Like, is it natural? What does that mean? There are no synthetic chemicals. So yeah, that's what we're absolutely aiming for. We can't legally put anything on the can that is not accurate. Like, we can't say it if it's not. And I have to tell you, I didn't know this when I started, which is probably a good thing. Water is harder to produce in cans and in bottles than alcohol, for, like, by and large, right? You have to go through so many different standards checks. You have to do so many things, and that's just to get water out. That's not even like a moral thing of how you want the water to come out, which is something that is very, very important to us when it comes to what we're doing. So you will know exactly what is in the water when it's out. You won't taste this water without knowing exactly what's in it. And so the goal of it is to be as natural, as straightforward water as possible. And then when you get into the flavors and things like that over time, those are the things that we will talk to our investors about. That's why you want to be an investor in it. In the early days of starting your business, what was your process keeping a positive mindset, knowing the other side was your goal? So I have a book called It's About Damn Time that came out May of 2020, And it talks about those early days, because those early days I was broke. I was towards the end of it, I was sleeping on the floor of an airport in San Francisco. And I had to think about my mindset every single day, because I was always like, I've started so many companies, but I immediately go to Backstage because it's like the biggest project I've ever done was starting Backstage Capital. And I had to be my own coach, and I had to keep myself going every single day and just push through all the negativity and not knowing, the uncertainty of not knowing what would happen next. That was years ago. Today, man, there's so many resources today. Maybe no one's like writing you a check or sending you a wire, but there's like, you're rich with resources on YouTube, and just so many different people who have gone through it now, who can tell you what it's like, and he can help you collapse time. So yeah, it was just a lot of self talk, self motivation. I also, I had Oprah and Will Smith and Richard Branson on audio or video, or reading about them, telling me things as if they were my coach, even though I didn't know them. And it's interesting because now Will Smith definitely knows me. He made a video about me, and I interviewed with him. And Oprah, I know that Oprah knows who I am, but we've never spoken to each other. So they were my mentors. Yay! I received my book tomorrow. I start reading. Very, very, very excited. Awesome. So we're talking about this book today. We're out of physical copies of the paperback. This isn't the real book, by the way. This is like the one of the galleys, but we're out of the paperback. But you can get the ebook and audiobook if you go to arlansrevenueplaybook.com. Just teaches you all about making more money and making it in a sustainable way. And to the person who's asking about health and wellness, without burning out, without burning out. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Jack Queen said, I missed a lot. Will you please mention one more time about the angel investing? Yes. So if you're just joining, or if you missed it, I have a new water brand called, we're referring to it as YW Global. Outside of the United States, it is called Yacht Water. And I opened up a $50,000 allocation for you to invest as minimum of $100. As little as $100 makes you an angel investor. And that's what we're really excited about. And so we are, last weekend, I did some lives. I did 3 lives last weekend, and you all showed up and showed out and invested $16,000 this past 7 days. So I wanted to come here again, let you know about it before the 50,000 is gone, and just invite you to join. Only invest the amount you're able to lose outright, because this is a venture investment, or have illiquid, meaning you can't touch it, you can't withdraw it for years. Invest 100, $200 just for fun, and then yeah, or if you are diversifying your portfolio, put in more, and if it's something you've already done before, I would feel comfortable. When the good thing about this is it will tell you a limit, like you can't invest more than certain regulations will have you afford. So I think that's good. I like those guardrails, even though sometimes you can, like, the government is overreaching. I do like those guardrails, because if you're making 50,000 a year, I don't want you to invest 10,000 in my company. Like, that makes no sense to me. But I like the idea of you having the choice to invest 500, because that's why I started my fund, was to have the ability to make investments, to make decisions with my dollar, and to make things happen in the world that I wanted to see happen. And so we have just this beautiful canned water brand that has its own blue ocean, truly, when it comes to our design being luxury, when it comes to it being sustainable. It's tongue-in-cheek humor combined with that. I don't know if you'll necessarily want to hold a liquid death can in your hand at a club or at a picnic or at the beach, but you might want to carry this. You know, you might want to hold this, and it's beautiful in person too. I know that the video may not show it. Yeah, yeah, we have the ability to put it in a Tetra Pak. I will say this, and I'm going to be honest with everybody. Every single type of delivery of beverage has its pros and cons. So even the ones that are in the cardboard, the just waters and all of that, I appreciate what they're doing, and I know how difficult it is. But even those have their issues when it comes to what is inside of the cardboard and what we're drinking. And it's much better than drinking from just a bottled water, which is what most of us do. Valerie says, "This is my first time joining your live. I've inhaled your videos and I'm excited to be here." I'm excited that you're here. Thank you, Valerie. And thank you so much, by the way. I just want to thank everyone for watching my YouTube videos. And I appreciate you on Instagram as well. If you haven't watched my YouTube videos, please do. You can go to itsaboutdamntime.com and that takes you right to all of my videos. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of free training and coaching. And I post all the time because I want to see you win. And we have some really, really cool stuff coming up this year. That was a great book. You have an incredible story. Thank you. It's aboutdamntime.com. It doesn't take you to the book, but it does take you to my channel here. Wow. So Mrs. Day All Day says, "I'm working on my bump sell button and my free membership." That's cool. Those are two things I taught on YouTube. That's great. You got to let us know how it goes. Yeah, okay. Are we able to access the product as well? So the product is not available yet. It'll be available later this year. And your investment now is part of that, but you'll be able to see all of the process. And as investors, you will have first dibs. You will have first dibs on this product as investors. Let me say that. I'll also tell you that in 2024, we raised more than $230,000 from more than 500 investors. So you're in good company. It's a really good vibe going on. It's fun. These quarterly calls are really fun, and yeah, it's a good time. So someone has concerns about giving their social security number on WeFunder. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to force you or try to convince you to do that. You have to make your own decision there. I will tell you that it is a very standard practice, that WeFunder itself has been around for like more than a decade, I think, maybe less than a decade, but it's been around for a long time, and it had to go through so much scrutiny by the government that, I don't know, I can't even describe it. Not only that, but they helped create the laws that make it possible to do Reg CF. So Reg CF stands for Regulation Crowd Fund. So it's just like if you were to if you're going to make an investment in the company, you would have to sign a lot of documents. You'd have to go through a lot to do that. If you were investing like 50,000, 100, 200,000, which is what normally happens, this is allowing you to invest $100, $200, $500. So you do have to go through some regulation because they're trying to keep you safe and they're trying to keep the company safe, and they get in trouble. It's just like, when you're like, oh, just let this person in if they're under 21 drinking. It's like, why would I lose my entire liquor license to let one person in, right? So that's why there's all this kind of scrutiny. But I understand the concern, especially if this is the first time you're doing like an investment like this. Please make the decision based on what you feel comfortable with, because the last thing I want to happen is that you are, regretful. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Where's the link to invest? So if you click on the pinned link at the top of the YouTube chat, or the pinned link at the bottom or I don't know where it is on Instagram for you, but the pinned comment is where you can go. Or you can go to WeFunder, WeFunder.com, WeFunder, and /YW for Yacht Water, YW Global. Will this be sold in Canada? What countries will it be released in first? I cannot tell you the answer to any of that. legally. We are trademark pending in more than 30 countries. I cannot tell you which countries, mainly because we want to protect our process. I can't say more than that because it won't help us protect our process. But trust me, and we are doing our very best to get it as many places as possible. Dominique said she just started her school this week. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's another thing I teach on YouTube. If you want to join me on YouTube and watch, because I am live on Instagram and I'm live on YouTube. Has the window closed for investing in this round? No, that's why I'm doing the live, because I have a $50,000 allocation for you all. You are at 30,000. You did 16,000 in 1 week, which is awesome. So there's still space, still chance to go. Go to WeFunder, do a search. You can search my first name on WeFunder. You can find me and get in where you fit in. Yeah, let's see. Just invested. Let's talk projects. Thank you. This is not for dividends. And you're saying, are they a good company? This is my company. So I'm describing mine now. I do tell you about other people's companies because I love to shout out what people are doing. So I'll tell you more about other opportunities for this type of thing. If it were me, I would have like $500, $1,000, and I would put 100 here and 250 there and 100 there and start building my portfolio when it comes to these companies, because there's just really no better way to do that without having like tens of thousands of dollars or more and being accredited. And you can only be accredited if you make $200,000 a year or more. So this doesn't require that. But no, for mine, this is not about dividends at this time. There is a slight chance that in the future it could be about dividends, but I do not want to make that a guarantee. Right now, think of it as you put in an amount you're able to have not even think about for years. At some point in the future, if we do well, if we have an exit where we sell the company, go public, I think it's less likely for us to go public. I don't think that will happen. That's not really what I want to do. But selling it is something that could happen, or potentially creating a dividends plan could happen. But again, think of it less about dividends. Hey, Dominique, I'm going to shout you out over and over again. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So it's different than Robinhood, but that's a great question. So WeFunder and this Reg CF, regulation crowdfund investment, it's not like investing in the stock market, because you're investing money that is held for a long time, a much longer time. It's but what makes it cool is that when you're investing in these companies in the stock market, they're much further along. They've already kind of figured out what company they are. It doesn't really matter who the CEO is for the most part. Obviously, there's some exceptions to that, but it really is like this institution, and then it kind of has to follow these rules. When you invest in a Reg CF, a regulation crowdfund, which again I've invested in 200 companies, right? So some of them have done Reg CF. You're investing in the founders. You're investing in the idea. You're investing in, oh, I want to see this exist in the world, so I'm going to put some money behind it. So it has a different vibe to it, different connotation. But you would put some in Reg CF. You'd put some in, a real estate, some in stocks, public stocks. Okay, thank you. Sorry if I'm missing stuff. 16 years sober in November. Den Joyce, congratulations. Thank you. If you're still wondering how to invest in this, like someone asked, I may have answered that for you, but I'm going to answer it again. The pinned link in Instagram and on YouTube is where you invest, and you can go check out more information there. Okay, press his, okay, I'm not going to guess. It says, I have a few business ideas with the potential funding source. Need to put a pitch deck together. Any YouTube videos on that? Why, yes, there is. I have a YouTube video. If you go to it'saboutdamntime.com and you search my name, and I have one about how to invest, and I have one about how to get invested in. So I don't know it quite offhand. I know I did it in 2024. Just look up the word invest. Just look up the word invest, and it should pull that up. But I have a 30-minute video because someone's asking. They want to put a pitch deck together to get investment. Or do I have any YouTube videos about that? Well, yes, I do. It's like a 30-minute play by play. This is what you put in the first slide. This is what you put in the second slide. This is exactly what people are looking for when they're investing. I got you. I got you. I am Liz. New York says, do you think the weight loss space for women is saturated or not? No, I mean, it is saturated, but I don't know if that's a bad thing, because as long as we're alive, like as long as people exist, we're going to have people with weight issues, or people who want to change their weight in one way or another. So I don't think that will run out of customers for that. Thank you for being proud of me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the well wishes. You can invest between $100 and $50,000. Someone was asking. Let's see, I'm going to go to this one. Yeah, where's the primary stream? So both of these are primary. So I'm speaking to you on here on Instagram, and I'm also live on YouTube. And I'm doing them both at the same time because I would suggest you do this. Who here is using their lives? These are free websites like Instagram, YouTube. Who's using their lives when it comes to their work? Anybody here allergic to money? Let me see if there's anybody in the crowd allergic to money. If you're not allergic to money, use these resources that are given to you. How do I find the right investor who really can care about Black business? When I started back in the day, there were very few Black investors in the startup world who were investing in other Black investors. There were very few to begin with. Now, after Backstage Capital, my venture fund has kind of paved the way, and so many others have absolutely as well. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of investors with lots of money who are making investments in Black founders. Even with the government, everything's going on. But what I would say to you, this is why it's really cool to do something like WeFunder, like what we're doing right now with my water brand, because you can go to WeFunder and you can search for Black-owned businesses or women-owned businesses or any kind of keywords or categories, and you can put your dollar behind what you want to support. And then as a person who may be raising capital, you can be listed on these sites and get rally people, individuals, rather than hoping and waiting for these big institutional investors. That's why I love it so much. There's also different websites. You can Google different websites that are YouTube that talk about these different angel groups that are Black-led angel groups, and they're always looking for new deals. But you got to have your stuff together, right? You got to go to them correct. Don't go to them with an idea. Don't go to them with something half-baked, because they have to make smart decisions, right? They have to make smart decisions. And that's why I made that video on YouTube about how to get investors. And that's why I do so much free content about it, because it's a two-way street. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So someone says, I don't have knowledge about how to invest. Is there a way you can send me a DM? No, I think what I want you to do is learn from this one, which I will try to replay on both platforms. Go to the page. You don't even have to invest to learn. So you can go to the linked page, read what's on the page, watch the video that's on the page, and just kind of observe, and you'll get to learn a lot more. And I also have a ton of free content on YouTube. A ton. hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free content. What's my name on YouTube? It's Arlan's Your First Million. But to find it, just go to itsaboutdamntime.com. If you want to see me on YouTube, go to itsaboutdamntime.com. Thank you for asking. Okay, I'll come back over here to YouTube. Literally everything is on her channel in school. Yes, that is correct. That's correct. Everything is on my channel in school. And I mean, I have more videos about topics than you'll ever need. You'll never be able to go through all my content. I have so much free content for you. Thank you. Dominique says, oh, hold on. LA says, are you interested in a potential athlete promoting your water? Yeah. If you have anything like that, our investors get first dibs at making those types of recommendations, but you can always reach out to me on DM on Instagram and let me know what you have in mind. Thank you. Orchestrated by Me says, I love your energy. This is definitely your calling. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. D wants to know, do investors get water after they invest? So D, wonderful question. Thank you for asking that. You do get water. You get first dibs, but it is not out yet. So it's not available yet. But when it is available, you as an investor would be among the first to get it. So you would have first dibs. You'd be able to brag about it, post about it, all of that before anybody else. TC says, hi, Arlan. Thank you for your insightful videos. Can investors from the UK participate in these investments and be compliant? Absolutely. So if you go to wefunder.com or the links that I have pinned, go and try to invest and see if it allows you. It is going to be so compliant and available to those they'll let. So I know it's a little backwards of an answer, but it's just I don't know every single region that is not allowed. So if it allows you, you can rest assured that everything is above board. They have done all of their diligence and all good. If it doesn't allow you, it does mean, unfortunately, that you're in a region that is not accepted. It's not because WeFunder doesn't want you to invest or I don't. It's because your local laws do not allow you to. And I think that's something that sometimes people get confused about. Off the Beaten Path, who wants to know or says Black Angels would be a cool motorbike club name. That's very true. Okay. Thank you for all you're doing to help us. You are welcome, Cher. Thank you for being here and caring. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Y'all are so sweet. Okay, I see you asking that question. What? Yeah, I'm not going to answer that. It's just a lot. I'm trying to find you on YouTube. It's aboutdamntime.com. It's aboutdamntime.com. Okay, so Josh, do I want to answer this question? Let me see who you are, Josh, before I get weird. I think I know you. Do I not know you? Why can't you fund this yourself? I'm going to do two things. I am going to remove Josh, and I'm also going to answer Josh's question. Because I'm too grown for the, when people, when they have this energy and they're asking a question, but they're not really asking that question, they're asking something else. Listen, I can fund this myself. I did fund this myself, and I have funded this myself. I want you all to have the ability to, for $100, do what I'm doing with my $60,000 that I put in from my own pocket. Do what these wealthy white men, Josh, what these wealthy white men do on a daily basis, which is they get with their friends and they build companies and they fund companies and then they exit those companies because they got all of the resources in the world. And not every white man. So if you're a white man, I'm not talking about everyone. Thank you. But they do this all day. I have watched this for 10 plus years. I have watched it over and over again. I was watching a YouTube video earlier today and I yelled at the screen by myself and I said, "Why do mediocre people make so much money?" It's because they're on this flywheel. They know the right people, so they get in the right doors. They get in the right doors, so they get the right exits. They get the right exits, so they make enough money to just start it all over again. And what I'm trying to do is it takes a lot to do this. You have to go through an audit, you have to answer questions, you have to kind of pull it, along. I could do all of this behind closed doors. But I wanted you all to have the ability to win if I win and to learn along the way and to have fun along the way. And I don't know if Josh is a bad dude. He may just be very sincere in his question, but I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Okay, so this person's name is Shahahahahahana, and they say, "I took your advice and I've got an offer. Please tell me more. I love this. Tell me more about what you mean." Why can't you fund this yourself? Right. Foolish Thing says, "Okay, it's water. I got it." Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I tell you all the time, don't go out looking for investors as your main focus. Build, build, build. Make it so good they can't deny you. And when I say they, I just mean the world. You can't be denied. Go out there and do what all these people that I get to hang out with do and make your money. Learn a skill, develop that skill, learn how to sell and promote that skill, and make money for yourself. I said all the time. So I've invested in 200 companies. I'm getting an investment now. You all are becoming my investors, which is very cool. But let's be real, 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 real. We're talking about a few hundred dollars per person on average. Now being able to get in and just be part of this. I could charge the same for a course, and you wouldn't have any ownership in anything. So, yeah. Okay. I created a custom offer for my consulting services, and I'm only taking on 10 clients. Good. No buys yet, but I'm hopeful. Your channel is so helpful and your story has inspired me so much. Amazing. Thank you. Hey, Brooke. It's so good to see you, Brooke. You make me happy. You're so talented. Can I send my pitch deck to your Backstage page? You can send, yes, you can anybody can go to backstagecapital.com. Since the day I started it, it has been, you do not need to have a warm intro or know someone who knows me. You can go to backstagecapital.com and apply when we have our applications open. You check the website to see if it's open. And if it's not, it'll be at another time. But definitely come to us when you are absolutely ready to take on funding, when you have some things that you have done on your own. Before, you can't do it like idea phase. You can't do, I need $1 million for Facebook marketing. That's not really what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, I'm an Inner Circle member. Hey, Tanya. And I truly thank you for all that you do to help small businesses succeed. Thank you. Valerie says, you have provided a beautiful table for all of us to sit at the table. Thank you. Yeah, I can be tired. Exactly. Thank you for sharing your gifts, talents, resources, and wisdom. Why y'all making me all emotional over here? Okay. Make it so good they can't deny you. That's exactly right. I ultimately wanted to make some money. I think the video was about making like $2K in a weekend. Yeah, so there's bump sale. I'll tell you, on Monday I will release a new video. If you're in all access, or if you're in all access or my ultimate event blueprint, ultimate networking blueprint, if you're in my memberships, essentially, I posted this yesterday ahead of Monday. You got a sneak peek of it, but it is a cool video where someone watched my how to make $5,000 in a week video a few months ago. She watched it, or they watched it 2 weeks ago, and the same day made $1,000 by doing what I say in the video. So we recorded a quick interview to see what it was like. So I can't wait for that. So on Monday morning, LA time, watch out for that video because it's going to inspire a lot of you, and it's going to give you like a lot of things to think about, to go through. Thank you. Which links do you need, Charlene? Which links? I'm a real inspiration. Appreciate you. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So this one was really cool. I like this video because I hear it all the time. People do this all the time. They watch my videos, they do what I say, they make money. But then there are a lot of people who are like, oh, that's not going to work. And they don't try it. And then they just think it's not going to work. So I want to show more and more people. And then you saw that video that's already available with Giselle, where she talks about how she went from 400 YouTube subscribers to 17,000 since joining Arlan's All Access. That video is on my channel as well. That video has a thumbnail that talks about the $10,000 skill. That's a really great video to check out if you haven't yet. I like the color scheme of the cans. Yes. Now I guarantee I'm going to have a DM from Josh. Yay. Go join it. Yeah. Okay. Charlene, your answer tells me that you just need to go to my channel, which you can click on from here. And I have playlists you can look for specific categories of topics. And you can just choose a video and then kind of start binging and see which ones are relating to you. Dominique wants to know if I post a video 7 days a week. I don't. I do different schedules. I don't do like 52 weeks a year, the exact same schedule. So there was a time from August to October where I was doing 6 to 7 days a week. That was a big time. Now the last week I did 3. This week, we'll see what happens. I have a plan, but we'll see. Rick Lynn says, I love that your videos are not overproduced. They're natural and authentic. Thank you. And I do have some very produced videos on my channel, but I looked at my top 10 YouTube videos by views, and 9 of them, I am right here on Zoom in front of this background, and it's not even HD, let alone 4K. And those have the most views. I have 2 videos that have 500,000 views sitting here. And it's because I'm giving you information. People watch the videos for a longer time than normal. They send it out. I get thousands of shares every week, or is it weekly? Yes. I get thousands of shares, and I get 100,000 people every week checking out my videos. More than half of them are new. And then we have people coming back every time. So you care about the people coming back, and you care about the people who are new. And I teach all of this, all kinds of stuff on YouTube about YouTube. But if you don't have, let me use this time. I know we're talking about my water brand and investing in it, and you can go to the links that are pinned. But let me use this time with you to also tell you that if you are not taking YouTube seriously when it comes to your brand, when it comes to sales, marketing, and conversion, all of these things from the beginning to the end, once you have an offer figured out, then you are missing out completely. And you're not too late. Like, you can start it now. You don't have to worry, oh, I missed the boat. You did not miss the boat. You can do it. But if you take it seriously for a year, your whole life will change. That's a big statement, right? But I just know it. I just know it's true. If you take YouTube seriously for a whole year, your whole life will change. But what do most people do? They try something for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It doesn't do anything for them, so they stop. I Am Dana says, I really want to tell my story and start YouTube, but I'm terrified. Understood. It's gonna be scary for some people. But I have to say this too, like when I do consulting, because I do a lot of consulting for celebrities privately. I do consulting for a lot of you here who are watching when it comes to YouTube. And I have to say that YouTube is not necessarily about your story first and foremost when you're talking about sales. When you're talking about sales and making money from YouTube outside of AdSense, like for instance, you could have a whole vlog series or reality show or just about your life, and you could have enough of an interest where you make money on AdSense. But when you're thinking about using it with fewer than 1,000 subscribers, you're just trying to get people to look at your offer and become a client of yours. It's not as much about who you are and your story as it is about how you can help that person. So a lot of times people are not joining YouTube because they're like, I don't want to be exposed. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to be, I don't want people knowing my business. You don't have to. You don't have to. They don't have to know your business. Who knows what Gary Vee's children look like? If you know who Gary Vee is, what do his children look like? What are their favorite things to do? You probably don't know because Gary, even though he is one of the most watched people on social media of all time, still is able to protect some of his privacy because he decides what he wants to be out there and what he doesn't. That's how you can do this. I decide what I want to tell you about. I'm very open. So I tell you about my sobriety. I tell you about my political leanings and opinions and what I think. But there are so many things you don't know about me because I've chosen not to. And that is how you can play this. You don't have to play this where it's like, oh my God, I have to like change everything that I do and what I know. No, you're talking about something that you already know how to do. And you're going to help some other people who don't know how to do that. And this is a vehicle for you to do that. This is a stage for you. Okay. All right. I'm going to go in a second, but this has been so much fun. Let me know if you have invested while we've been on this call or if you plan on investing so I can go check that out. But let's see. I'm going live on YouTube. Thank you for the push. I will let you know. That book available in most bookstores. So I have 3 books. It's About Damn Time is available in most bookstores, and Your First Million Behind Me is available, and right here on Instagram is available in most bookstores. This is not the real book, so it's much different than this. But this new book, one second, my battery is dying. This new book, Arlan's Revenue Playbook, where I teach you how to make money, is available at arlansrevenueplaybook.com. Okay, let me try to grab these. Okay. Oh, you want links to the membership? Okay, so if you go to arlansallAccess.com, that should take you there. If that doesn't, then put a HTTPS in front of it. arlansallAccess.com is where you go to my membership. And there are payment plans and all kinds of stuff there now under the video. Okay, so Sherilyn's saying, I was talking about not having to give all your business out. She's saying, or they're saying, but if you're selling courses for women 40 and over, wouldn't they need to see it apply in my life? Well, I'm saying the same thing. There are some things that you can share that you've learned. Like if you're selling courses for women over 40, that can mean anything. But you're going to be more successful if you have a niche, if you have a very specific topic. So whatever that specific topic is, you would want to share. Now, if that specific topic is very, very sensitive and very, very private to you, then it maybe decide not to have that be your offer. Choose something else, right? Like you may have become sober like I did, and you know how to be sober and you know what that life is and how life-changing it is, but you don't personally want to be the person who teaches other people. Great. Choose something else. But if you choose something and you want to talk about how you went from A to Z and help other people do the same, but faster and better, then you can cut out all the other stuff in your life, right? That you don't want to share. I'm 6 months into my year of consistent YouTube because of you, from 20 subs to 77. It's not about that. I'm growing my consistency muscle. I help my company's brand I invested. Amazing, amazing. And you can keep growing from that. And consistency can mean a few things. Definitely, I have 2 courses in all access. If you haven't looked at it yet, please go look at it when it comes to YouTube. I also teach a ton of YouTube stuff for free on YouTube. And then I also consult privately one-on-one. Tanya has already invested. Dominique is investing. Cool, cool, cool. Virtual Creative is investing tomorrow. Okay, it's a lot for this channel. I'm just going to keep going. I'm losing my steam. I inspire you. Thank you. I'd love to interview me. Please DM me on Instagram if you'd like to interview me. I will try to check it out. A couple of people have asked for an interview. Please DM me, pardon me, on Instagram. You are welcome. You are welcome. Okay. Awesome. Another great time. An hour flew by. Can't believe that was more than an hour that we just talked to each other. You all are awesome. Make sure you click on one of these, or at least copy it, like press down on it and copy it, so that when I leave here, you can go right over to the WeFunder, join as an angel investor, become part of the fun, and we'll go from there. When we hit 50K, I will let all the investors know. We'll have a little virtual shimmy, and we'll get to work, or get back to work because we're already working. Foolish Thing says, absolutely will be investing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cool, everybody. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for spending this time with me.